Hello guys, so I have a video for you, what's been going on um for a while. Okay, so it's been a while. I'm in New York right now. Um so this is gonna be kind of a long story, what I've been doing for the last over a week. There's been no videos or whatever, um but yeah, there's a lot been going on. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm gonna explain everything that's been happening. It's been a lot of thing after thing happening, so that's why I have been very busy. Um, but okay, here it goes. It's gonna be kind of long. A week before, okay, I should probably actually start with telling you. Um, the reason I'm in New York, I'm meeting family, or I'm visiting family, upstate New York, not New York City or anything. But so yeah, that's why I'm down here. Flew in a couple days ago, or maybe a few days ago now. But okay, so a week before, I had to go get my ID because I didn't have an ID. So, but we had problems getting it because we had to go almost 3 hours away to get the ID, and my birth certificate was lost. So we also had to go get that. So we got stuff to prove my identity. I went to go get my new birth certificate, and then we went to go get an ID in Port Lavaca, which was like 3 hours away. On the way, like I said, on the way we got a text from the person we were going to see in New York asking to cancel for now. While we were already on our way to go get the ID or even birth certificate. But I needed an ID to get a job anyway, so we kept going anyways. So when we got there, I just realized I forgot my wallet, which had my social security card in it, which I would need to get my ID. So at first they were like, no, can't do it, sorry. They refused to even see me. But they saw I had a W-2 with me, so that would work for my social anyways. Most of this stuff was too outdated though, like the stuff we brought, like things from a couple years ago or whatever. They would take that. It had to be like this year or last year or whatever, but so it was outdated. So my dad needed to sign with me to get my ID, but and a car insurance would work. But unfortunately, the car insurance he had with him was also outdated. So he needed a at least a picture, which my mom thankfully had. She had a picture of his current car insurance. So they sent him that, or she sent him that. They showed him, or showed the lady or whatever at the DMV. Got that worked out. So he signed with me. So we finally got a paper temporary ID. The person we were visiting decided to uncancel our visit, so we never canceled the flight. On the day we had planned and bought the tickets to fly, my dad had checked in on the app, like the Spirit Airlines app or whatever. So when we got there, they said we didn't check in, and we got there too late, even though it was 35 minutes early still. So we decided to walk to a hotel and sleep and go back to the airport the next day to fly, which was 30 minutes each way. Walking, not driving. When trying to go through TSA, my temporary paper ID I'd gotten from Port Lavaca wouldn't work, so it took like 30 minutes to even get through TSA. Then going through TSA, I noticed my phone's screen was broken. It was white at the bottom and couldn't see it, though the touchscreen still worked. We got on the plane finally, got there at a decent time in Fort Lauderdale. Then we had to wait 6.5 hours or so to wait for the second flight to Newark in New Jersey. So we waited at the airport and finally flew there, and from there we almost missed getting our rental car, which we would use to drive the rest of the way, more than 3 hours. But we had just made it, and they upgraded us from a luxury to an SUV because they didn't have any more luxury cars we could have used. It was a sale. We drove for quite a while, and it started snowing more and more, higher elevation. But we quickly found out the car we were given as a rental didn't have four-wheel drive, so we couldn't drive this through the snow, and slipped or stopped many times trying to go up some of the last hills we needed to get up before we got there. So we tried and tried for an hour or more and decided to go back and wait at a Walmart for a couple hours until it opened and go get a jacket and gloves anyways, then try again in hopes they plowed the snow on the hill. So Walmart finally opened, and we went in, but they had no snow gloves, and we went to see if they plowed it yet. They hadn't. But we tried another way, and there was another hill. That one they also hadn't plowed, so we had the same problem there. So we tried calling the person we were visiting, but the calls wouldn't come through. So we called my grandma, asking for help with it, and she explained that the phone lines weren't, or where she lived weren't great where she lived. So eventually we got a hold of her, and she said to just wait until they plowed the snow to get up the hill. So we waited for a few more hours. They finally got up, just in time. Then finally got up just in time as we started slipping again. We saw this plow coming up again, plowing the snow, so we were able to make it to their house. While we were at their house, me and my dad were trying to take the SIM from my broken phone to put it in his old phone that he luckily brought uh, with us. But it was extremely tough. But we got the SIM card tray out of the broken phone. But while my dad tried to open his other phone's SIM card tray, he actually broke the tray. So there is no way I can use it. And my SIM is not in any phone at the moment. I'm just using their Wi-Fi right now. And that's where we are right now. Having fun in the snow, at least. Yeah. How can I stop this? Oh my god, this phone is so laggy.